the reason I like using ChatGPT so much is that it it will work out of order. Like, if you prompt it in the wrong order, as in if your prompt doesn't contain the sections of the prompt in the way it should, ChatGPT will still figure it out and give you great results. Yeah, it's just how it works.
Welcome, my friends, to another episode here on the podcast. Rick Mulready here, and as always, joined by QUAY.jo. How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going great. It's going great.
We have a fun episode here for you today. So, talking about one of the big things that when I'm talking to people about the capabilities of AI, and for if you've been listening for any period of time here, you know I'm obsessed with AI and the opportunities that exist with how it can help us online business owners in general, really streamline your business and make it a whole lot more efficient. And I'm kind of calling it redefining efficiency in your business. And I'm actually starting a new business. We'll drop a little nugget right there. We'll be
Ooh.
talking about that here more. Um, that is centered more on AI for you all. That is how to use AI tools and prompting and stuff like that in your online business. But one of the things that comes up in almost every conversation I have with people, it's like, well, how might I use this? What's a use case that sort of exemplifies like what the possibility is? And Kwadwo, you like this is a perfect example. You created a sales page in 30 minutes using ChatGPT.
Yep.
This is something that can take hours for someone to do. But not only that, oftentimes we hire out people to write a sales page, which can cost thousands of dollars. And you did it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So I want you to break that down for us. Why like was this a new challenge for yourself?
So, as a married man with a wonderfully supportive wife who has probably put up with, uh too many days where I'm working until 10, 11. Getting transparent. I feel like it's the confessional moment right now. But I'm sure you, Rick, and you, the listener, can relate to putting in more hours than you
Sure.
intended to get something done. And well, we had this founding member launch for the Lead Gen Cheat Code, which is a course that teaches online course creators how the exact same strategy that I use for my ad clients to set up and run and manage lead generation ads. And so there was like a deadline. And I believe the deadline was we already had recorded the ad spot for the podcast and I needed
Mhm.
to get everything else done. So it's like 8 p.m. and my wife, very lovingly, very patiently, and also I'm like, Quajo, don't. But she was like, I want to hang out tonight. And I'm like, sure thing. And she's super gracious. But one of the things that happens between us as husband and wife is she lets me know if I say I'm going to hang out with her, hang out with her. If I can't, then say I can't. But do not say we're going to hang out at such and such time and then just keep working through it or say, oh, this came up or that came up. She hates that. So I had 30 minutes to create a sales page and I'm a horrible writer. Like, I'm still traumatized by high school projects and even college writing projects because I would write and follow the framework. And it's always the same thing with my professors and teachers. They're like, Quajo, your flow is wrong. This part needs to go up top and this part needs to go on bottom. And your outro is your intro and everything. So I'm like, I've been listening to you, Rick, talk about how to use AI in several episodes. I wish we had those episode names. We'll put those episodes in the show notes below. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow Rick's instructions. I'm going to binge watch those podcasts or those 2 episodes and then do this. And lo and behold, I did it.
So what was going through your mind when you're like, I have 30 minutes to write to write a sale. No one says, "Oh yeah, I can write a sales page in 30 minutes."
Exactly.
No,
Um,
no, yeah.
well, one thing that was going through my mind was this will make a good YouTube video, which I did record it, and my video editor did make a YouTube video out of it, and that will go live. The other thing was detach from results. Quit overthinking. Put the prompts into ChatGPT like you know how to do, and then look at what it says and just adjust it a little bit for your own voice and put it up there. It's okay if it's not completely perfect. Just get it done. And
Yep.
so I literally kept telling myself through the whole 30 minutes, like, don't suffer, like, don't do the whole analysis paralysis, just go, get it done.
So this was, and just to kind of recap, this was for a sales page for your founding members for your ads course, the lead gen cheat code.
Yeah.
People, you were sending people there from the podcast here because you had, a promo going.
Yep.
So they're going to come over here and just to kind of just speak real quick about your terrible writer, you said. It's take that, and also writing a sales page is completely different than writing any other kind of writing. It's very
Slightly
different.
intimidating.
So, all right. You have to do this in 30 minutes. All right, let's use ChatGPT. Take us through what you did.
So prompts. The first prompt was one that you taught, which was you tell it to analyze the text below for writing style and tone of voice. And so what I did, Rick, is since many people that I serve are also the same caliber of people that you serve in the accelerator, was I thought, let me just go to Rick's website.
Served.
Served
Past tense.
with a D. In the accelerator was, so I went to your website and I just started taking text and copying that in to get the tone and style. And ChatGPT analyzed the tone and style. We're not going through the results. We're just going to kind of overview what the prompts were. And so the next prompt was, okay, so
hold on. So you went back. So the first thing that you started with is you need to quote unquote train ChatGPT to write in your tone of voice, your style of writing.
Right.
And you can simply ask ChatGPT. You can say, I want you to analyze the below text for tone of voice, style of writing and speaking, and anything else you want to add there. And, and then include the text, right? You can keep it really simple and you can kind of see what it gives you and then alter as needed. Because you might be like, yeah, this is kind of hitting it. This is kind of how I talk. Because it will literally spit out a paragraph describing how a friendly communicator who whatever is uses storytelling to prove, whatever it might be. And based on the output that it gives you, you get to say, oh, I like this, or I think we're almost there. So then you can go back and edit change the prompt, if you will, and have it do it again. And that's this art of sort of refining the prompt until you get to what you want. So you started this, and I'm sorry if I missed it. What did you use to analyze your tone of voice?
Well, I may have just gone to your website and copy and pasted some text from there to have it analyze your tone of voice.
My tone of voice.
Well, because it's speaking to about the same kind of client. Like my ads clients are at the same income level as the people who you serve in Accelerator. So I just had it analyze your tone of voice. Again, we were getting the job done. I could have uploaded one of my own videos or a podcast episode that I was on and then uploaded it to a transcription service like we use happyscribe.com and gotten the transcript, and then I could have gone to Claude.ai, and put it in there since it accepts longer transcripts than ChatGPT does, and it could have analyzed my voice. But I had 30 minutes, so I had to get the job done.
Do you have to pay for Happy Scribe?
I do, and I know there's a free one out there, but I keep forgetting it. I literally had
it's Riverside.
Riverside.
It's riverside.fm.
Thank you.
/trans. I think it's called it's transcription. I think it is. Or if you just Google Riverside FM transcription, it'll take you right there. And it's a free transcription, whether it's audio or video. I would do that. Save yourself the money on. And I know nothing about Happy Scribe, but it's free transcription.
Thank you. I literally had that conversation before the podcast recording this morning with my video editor, and we could not remember what that was. So
Riverside.fm/.
Riverside.fm/.
You're welcome. I just saved you $12 a month or
Yeah, you really
whatever.
did. You really did. So the next prompt.
Yep. Next prompt.
The next prompt was I told ChatGPT from here on out in this chat, write all the results in the same style and tone.
Yep.
So it said, okay. And
Great.
then the next prompt was, I want you to act as a marketing genius who also is a converter. Your audience is online course creators and coaches. And then I further outlined or described the audience again, just saying these online business owners have been in business for at least 2 years and generate such and such revenue, and they tend to struggle with things like this and that, things that I've gathered from having these funnel fixing calls with my clients and onboarding calls with my ad clients. And I also included a bunch of questions that they frequently ask. These are questions that I've compiled from a bunch of my funnel fixing calls
Yep.
in a little additional prompt that said, when it comes to Facebook ads, they ask lots of questions like the following. And I put all the questions there. Hit
Okay.
enter.
So
Yeah.
hold on. Before you go on there, I want this. So what I want to just really bring home for people is that you've written a paragraph here, essentially 2 paragraphs,
Mhm.
which I really like, because you went the more detail that you give to ChatGPT or Claude, the better output it's going to give you.
Correct.
And this should be something that you write once and you copy and paste it into the prompt, right? So now ChatGPT has this context feel where you can put this information in there. If you are pretty much going to be using ChatGPT around the same types of prompts, meaning everything's going to be centered around my online or my audience here, you can put that into ChatGPT once and it'll be there, so that you don't have to like copy paste. But the idea here is not, don't reinvent the wheel every time, right? Your target audience shouldn't be changing, every day. So write it once. And also, you can use ChatGPT to
Right.
help you understand your target audience more clearly. And let's just say that QUAY.jo didn't have all those questions there that come from the funnel fixing calls that he does. Well, he could literally give ChatGPT the audience description that he just mentioned and ask GPT, what are 5 challenges that this audience likely faces on a day-to-day basis? I'm just making this up. And it will give you those things. It will give you those things. So anyway, you've given it the context of the ask, meaning this is my target audience. This is who I want to speak to.
Yep. And at this point, I'm just amazed because Rick, I can still say I really don't know, have barely, to borrow a cliche, scratched the surface of what Chat GPT can do. Like I'm just every time I try something or I hear another tip, I try and it's like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So the next prompt was use everything you have analyzed and learned from this chat so far and craft a 1,000-word sales page and then I tell it what I want it to, the purpose of the sales page to be, to pre-sell my course aimed at established online course creators. And then I go on to give a description of what the course is designed to do. The course will teach them how to generate Facebook lead ads by setting up their own ad campaigns. I told ChatGPT to emphasize the limited availability. Only the first 50 buyers will get access to this initial founding member round, which included some nice free things for the founding members. I guess I won't say that because we filled up all the founding member spots, Rick, just today, as the recording of this video on October 9th. And I told it the goal is to encourage visitors to buy the course in advance, making it clear that the course is still in development and that I would begin creating the course once I had 50 registrants, and that if that number wasn't reached, I would refund all the purchases. And then I told it again to use the writing tone and style that it had discussed or responded about earlier in this chat. And I said you can use the outline provided below for the sales page. And I gave it my course outline, like the modules and lessons. And then I hit return and it gave me a sales page.
All right. So let's break this down a little bit again, because I want to go into, okay, what did it actually give you for the output? So whether you realize it or not, QUAY.jo, what you're doing here is following the prompt framework that I talked about in a previous episode here on the show. That I want to give full credit to Rachel Woods from the AI Exchange for, she and I talk about that a lot. And it's, you start off the prompt by telling ChatGPT or Claude or whichever LLM that you're using, who you want it to be. So QUAY.jo said, I want you to act as a marketing genius who is also a conversion copywriter. So you're basically setting the table, if you will, telling ChatGPT how you want it to act, who you want it to be. You want it to be a world-class business analyst. You want it to be a world-renowned gardener or a world-renowned artist or whatever it might be. Tell it
Yeah.
who you want it to be and how you want it to act. Then you give it the context of this prompt. And in this case here, it was the voice, the voice analysis that it did, and the audience. So there's the context. And then you gave it the criteria. So the criteria is the next part of the prompting framework. The criteria, you said, you told it all the different areas of that you wanted covered in the sales page.
Yep.
So you were telling it what you wanted to make sure that the output included. And then the final piece of this was the instructions, meaning like, this is where you tell it what you want it to do. And you said, use everything that you've analyzed and learned from this chat so far and craft a 1,000 word sales page to pre-sell my course aimed at established online course creators.
Yep.
So that is your output, or excuse me, that is your instructions for the output. So again, you told it what you wanted to, how you wanted it to act, or what you wanted it to be. Then you gave it context, meaning target audience and your voice that you wanted it to give you the output in. Then you gave it criteria, and then you gave it the instructions.
Yep.
And you even included the outline for the course. And so that would fall under the criteria. You could also argue like, oh, I want to include that in the instructions part to give me that, write this sales page that is based off of this. But I would say it's more criteria. So what did it give you?
It gave me a sales page. I did not like how it wrote. I mean, it wrote a phenomenal sales page, but I believe the angle was slightly wrong, and I didn't like the voice that it was using, like the style, the writing style that it was using. It seemed a bit sensational for me. So I will add though, you outline it super clearly how to make a prompt, but what I have found is the reason I like using ChatGPT so much is that it it will work out of order. Like if you prompt it in the wrong order, as in if your prompt doesn't contain the sections of the prompt in the way it should,
Yeah,
ChatGPT will still figure it out and give you great results.
sure.
Like, yeah, it's just how it works. So I had this bike accident and I didn't have much time to I think I had to take like some sort of breather or I couldn't figure out what to say. So I literally opened up ChatGPT on my cell phone, logged into the same account, and then dictated to it the next thing that I wanted it to do. And
So
it's a
wait a second. So it's the output that it gave you was a little bit too sensationalized, and you weren't psyched with you're like, oh my gosh, this is you've hit it out of the park, ChatGPT,
yeah.
and I'm gonna make few edits and then use it. It was out of 100%, where would you say it got to?
So it did write a sales page. It was a good sales page, but for me, I felt like maybe it was at 60% because it's not my writing style.
Mhm.
And it just seemed like it was just a weird sales page that was making super big promises. It wasn't written from the right angle. So
Yep.
maybe 60%. I
Okay.
would not put that sales page up. It would be like QUÄY.jo is a bro marketer who is trying to pull something over on us. That's the kind of impression I got from that sales page.
Okay. So you got it to 60%.
Mhm.
And you all like this is completely possible to get the idea is to get get you to outputs from your prompts to say 90 to 95%, meaning you are only having to edit and make any kind of changes 5 to 10% of the time. If you're in that range, you're doing really, really well. That means your prompting is really, really getting much better. But you're at a 60% now, QUAY.jo. What do you do at that point?
So for some reason, like I was saying, I had to open up ChatGPT on my cell phone and dictate to it. I forget why. But what I did was I told it to fix all of the error. Well, basically, I primed it for my imperfect, somewhat rambling style of speech and prepared it that I was just about to dictate and kind of brain vomit into it. So I told it to fix all of the errors and repetition and give me new text that says the same thing as the following. And then I just pressed record and started dictating to it, right? And I basically said, okay, you are the new co host of a podcast that serves established online course creators and the same audience that you have analyzed above in this chat. And then I said, what would you say to persuade the podcast listener to click the link in the show notes and go pre-register for this course that teaches them how to set up and make good Facebook ad lead gen campaigns by themselves. And keep in mind that I am new to the podcast because it gave the wrong angle, right? So I had to explain to it. Keep in mind I am new to the podcast, so people are not as familiar with me as the co-host. As they are with the main host who's been hosting the podcast for 7 years because I'm dictating at this point, right? So I can just talk at will. But the main host has repeatedly like expressed that we've worked together for several years and communicated to the listeners that I do have good Facebook ad management skills and so on and so forth. And so then it redid the sales page and the sales page was better. But I asked it, I said, so that ad is good now, but please rewrite it based on the following. And then I gave it another prompt to further kind of hone in the response. Wrote the sales page again, and I told it the ad copy was good. I told it to keep it the same, except for to change the part that where it says, I think it said something like, you'll be making Facebook ads convert like crazy. And I was like, who says that? So I told it to change it to some different language. And I also asked it to change something else. And it kept redoing the sales page until I was happy with it.
So yeah, just to confirm, you mentioned ad there, but you were actually
Sorry.
telling it this. You're still working on the sales page at this
Sales
point.
page. Yep.
Did
Sales
you
page.
ever tell it not to be so bro markety ish?
I should have. That
Because
didn't
I've
occur
I've
to me.
completely done that before with it, and because it does tend to get a little sensationalized sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like drop the bro marketing lingo and all that stuff. And I literally tell it that, and it'll do much better. So so what I heard was probably 3 iterations of of the copy. And at that point, out of 100%, where did it get you to?
It still got, I was happy with it.
Mhm.
So, but maybe we were at 85,
Okay, that's really
90.
good. That's great.
Um, So I took the result, put it
Yep.
into a Google document, and
Yep.
then I took it the rest of the way. Deleted a few things, changed the wording. It still was a bit sensational,
Yep.
and I have to be careful. Like it's a course. I like to explain and not overpromise. We don't want to
Sure.
overpromise.
Sure.
We want to overdeliver. So I changed it a bit, and I was happy with that. I will sneak in because I was very proud of this prompt that last week I think I had DM'd it to you, but when I told ChatGPT to act like it was trained by Robert Cialdini, the
Yeah,
author of
Cialdini. Yep.
Influence,
Yep.
and David Ogilvy, who is like the head of like this pretty famous, if anybody knows him, ads agency or
Mhm.
copywriting agency,
Mhm.
advertising agency. I was like, what kind of headers would these two people come together and write? And then it gave me some pretty nice results. So the next prompt that I did for ChatGPT then was based on everything you've done so far in this chat, please act as an online business marketing strategist and course title expert and suggest 15 names for the new course that I'm going to sell. And it gave me 15 names. Um, I had it refine its results. I told it I kind of like number one out of 15. And then I asked it, but what is a name for a course that distills my 3 years of knowledge as a Facebook ads manager into a DIY course so that online course creators can set up their own functioning Facebook ads and get double the leads in 90 days for half of the lead costs on their own? And then ChatGPT gave me more examples, or gave me another example. And then I asked it for 10 more examples. It gave me 10 more examples. And then I asked it more questions to further refine the titles, and I think that was it, and I picked a title from that response. So again, basically, it had to go through 3 more iterations of titles with me telling it more of my intention and tweaking it with my thoughts before I got to a title that I liked.
So when you say title, you're talking about sales page headline?
I'm actually talking about title of the course.
Oh, sorry, title of the course. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, title of the
What
course.
about the sales page headline?
I don't
Did it
I
give you any kind of headline?
It did give me a headline. When it first gave me when it gave me the final sales page that I liked, it gave me the headline, the headers of the section, it gave me
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
So, all right. So where are we at this point in our 30-minute challenge to yourself to go hang out with Jamie?
We were probably at minute 25. Like, we're towards the end there.
So 25 minutes in, you've gotten all of this
Mhm,
done.
mhm.
You kicked it over to a Google Doc or what have you to take that 85, 90% all the way home.
Yep.
And so you've got all this copy. It's given you the different sections like you just mentioned. It's written you 1,000-word sales page. And do you hand it off to your team to put into a template, or what do you do with it at that point?
Well, at that point, I left it, and I went and hung out with my wife and told her all the exciting things I just did. Um, but at that point, I left it in a Google document, and did I hand it off to my team to have them put it up? I did. I remember now, I did. Yeah.
Well, I would hope so. The whole thing is like, I got to get this sales page done.
Yeah, I did. Because there's so many things I'm doing as a course creator and online
Sure.
business owner, like, I forget the details, but yes, I did give it to my team. I
And
gave
were
it
you what kind of sales page template were you using?
um, so I'm having a new website designed.
Mhm.
That's the disclaimer, and my current website is, like, the bare minimum viable product for a website. It's not the greatest. So all I did was told my team to I made a Loom video, and I think it was my ad manager because she had a bit of free time, and she's
Mhm.
proven herself as far as setting up a website page. Um, and I just told her to take another page, showed her in the Loom what page it was, told her how to duplicate it, and then put this sales page up, and so she did.
So you reached your goal within 30 minutes.
Yep, I
1,000
did
word
it.
sales page. You got it using ChatGPT, you got it to 85 to 90%, which is really good.
Yeah.
You got a name of the course.
Yep.
You got headline, you got sales page section headers,
I
and
actually went further than that.
do
In the
tell.
final bit, I was on a roll, so I asked ChatGPT to create an email sequence too, to sell the course. Yeah, I did, and it gave me subject line, it gave me, like, 4 subject lines, it gave me the email body, um Oh, no, I asked it to write an email that would get somebody who just signed up for the course to fill out a survey explaining why they, um, decided to be a founding member for the course, so that I could use that in future messaging, and it gave me that email. I also had it write another, like, yeah, 3 email upsell sequence. It did all that for me too.
Yep.
And then I had it write some ideas for the YouTube video, and it did that. And then I ran downstairs.
All within 30 minutes.
All within 30 minutes. Well, maybe it took me 32 minutes, but yeah, 30 minutes.
That's not 30 minutes, Kwadwo.
It's I had to like turn off the camera, put the lens cover back on, turn off my key light and my office lights, So I'm counting that too.
I just want to point out everything that you got accomplished in 30 minutes. And the sales page was done. You got a title for your course. You got an email written. And the important thing to remember, you all, is Kwadwo's doing all this within one chat. So when you start a new chat in ChatGPT, all this context that he's putting in here with the target audience and all of the, the updates that reprompting, and it's learning all of that. So you could literally write, you could say, I want you to write me a 7-email marketing sequence to sell this course. Like, it would do that using all the information that you just gave it, as long as you're doing that within the chat, the same chat. Now, of course, you could do it in another chat, but you have to like re-give it all the context and stuff like that. But I mean, this is a great use case. And just as a kind of a hint, these are exactly the types of things that I'm going to be teaching people in this new business. And I put together a lead magnet, a free download for you. And it's 5 different prompts that every online business owner needs. And that's just to start. I'm going to build off of that.
Awesome.
But for each aspect of your business, sales, marketing, operations, fulfillment, prompts that will allow you to do things like this, exactly what Kwadwo's done today, to make things so much easier in your business. Again, think about everything that Kwadwo's accomplished in 30 minutes. And if you start multiplying that across your business, you are absolutely, as I'm calling it, redefining efficiency in your business using ChatGPT, using Claude, using other AI tools. And so I have a new website. We all have new websites. So rickmulready.com, just go there. You can download that. I don't even know what I'm calling it. I don't know if it's a cheat sheet, PDF, whatever.
It's going to be good. Who cares the name? It's going to be
5. Good. Just go download it. Give me feedback. Also, let me know what other kind of use cases that you want to solve in your business, and help you solve it. So as we wrap up here, Kwadwo, what's another thing, now that you've done this and used it successfully, like what is something else what's another use case that you might use it for?
Well, since we're talking about the past, I'll tell you the other use case that I did already use it for since the recording since that, which is I had it. So there's another course that I'm creating. So I had ChatGPT create an upsell page for me. I had it create a long version and a short version of an upsell page for the new course. I had it create another onboarding sequence. I had it create an email sequence that would go out to the people who bought the first course but did not purchase the upsell, and so on and so forth. I've had it do so much more in the same exact chat. And one simple thing I will add is I didn't know you could verify what ChatGPT knew about. So I remember asking it, "Do you know what Kajabi is?" And then it
Yeah.
responds in so many words like, "Yes, I know what Kajabi is." And I'm like, "Are you familiar with the concept of an upsell?" And then it's like, "Yes, a upsell is," and 2 paragraphs later, I'm
Yep.
like, "Do you know what a tripwire is?" And it's like, "In the world of online marketing," and so then I basically just told it, "Well, combine all this and do this for me," and it did it. I was like, "Wow." So, yeah, I keep using
Yeah.
it in the same exact chat, and it just keeps as the chat gets longer and longer and richer, the results just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I love it.
We could talk
Um,
forever. We gotta land this
I
plane.
know. Let's land the plane. Thanks you all for tuning in today. Hopefully this was helpful for you in hearing Kwadwo's use case. We've gone through gone through the prompting framework, and as Kwadwo proved and mentioned earlier, you don't have to have it exactly in the right order of things. ChatGPT will figure it out. And if you want to go download the freebie I put together for you, that 5 prompts that every online business owner needs in their business, just go over to my site, rickmulready.com. And yeah,
We'll make sure to put that link in the show notes too.
cool. All right, my friends. Thank you so much.
Take care. Be blessed.